You grew up in a haunted house.
Yep. It was built on a cemetery. I was laying in bed. To this day, I'm paranoid of sleeping on my back because of it. And I see a soldier walk past my doorway. I rub my eyes, put the blankets over my head, rub them some more, and look back down. And now it's not just one, there's soldiers, a line of them, walking. The last soldier, he got in my doorway, turned, looked, and started to walk into my room towards me.
Whoa, like they're legitimately floating. Let's start with childhood. Where did you grow up?
Not on Fort Meade, the base, but near it. It was like a government housing, and stayed there from 80, I forget the age, 80, I want to say 89 or 90 to 93. Stayed in this haunted house that was built on a graveyard and cemetery and
Legitimately haunted?
legitimately haunted.
All right, we got to dive into this.
Legit, bro. Like,
Hold on, how old are you?
I was at the time, 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years old. That was my first experience I'll never forget this experience. So I'm laying in bed on this, you can look up this old place. It's Walker Drive, Fort Meade, near Fort Meade. There's no more houses there. It's just all built up and torn down. But lived in this all brick house that was connected to another home that if you poked the hole through the wall, you could see the neighbors in the adjacent room. Few 100-square-foot home, very, very, very small. And my dad would always say if you stood in the front door, you could spit and you'd hit the backyard. It was a very small home. So as a kid, we would always hear like people running upstairs, footsteps, and my parents would, ignore it. It's just a house creaking or whatever. And these footsteps would start to come down the stairs. You'd hear heavy footsteps just going around upstairs, and they start to go downstairs and they would stop. A few other times you would hear conversations, but like whispers or like staticky whispers on a radio station you couldn't tune into all the way. And as a kid, you don't think too much of it. You just hear stuff. But the scariest, most traumatizing, if you want to call it that, experience that I've had, I was laying in bed, and to this day, I'm paranoid of sleeping on my back because of it. Laying in bed on my back, and something woke me up. And I see a soldier who, at the time, I had no idea what his uniform looked like. It was different than my dad's. I didn't find out later that it was like a old Civil War style uniform. And I see a soldier walk past my doorway. I rub my eyes, put the blankets over my head, rub them some more, and look back down. And now it's not just one, there's soldiers, a line of them, walking, and they would turn to go down the stairs into the main living room space. Maybe 10 soldiers passed by. The last soldier, he got in my doorway, turned, looked, and started to walk into my room towards me. Jumped out of my bed, ran through him into the bathroom, curled up on the toilet, and started screaming. My dad runs out, and I'm screaming at him, please don't spank me, because that's what normally would happen. And he came in, grabbed me, held me, and I told him what I saw as best as I could, and he says, I know, son, I know. I saw it too. That was my first real ghost experience.
Whoa, he did see it too?
Yeah, well, to pass by, his room was to the left of my room. And yeah, so I guess they were coming out the wall in the hallway, walking past his door and my door before they went downstairs. And he saw it, I saw it, terrified me. And the looks of their clothes, never forget. The uniforms they wore the long gun with the musket, or not musket, but it had a long, not sword, but knife, bayonet at the tip of it. And they were marching with the little cap hats down the stairs. I had never seen that uniform a day in my life, and I won't forget it. And the last guy walking into my room, yeah.
Did you have more experiences?
Yeah. I've had one, I guess more recent, when within the past 15 years or so, I was working at a gun range called Rifles Only. It's a big precision rifle training facility. And me and one of the instructors, his name's Win, and we're driving down this dirt road to get to where the facility is. It's at nighttime. We had just gotten back from the bar. I wasn't drinking. I was designated driver, but I was sitting passenger seat. But regardless, we're driving and I hear, it sounded like a radio came on, the static. And I heard this old lady chuckling, laughing, and saying something. I couldn't understand what she was saying, but it sounded like she was in the floorboard. It's what it sounded like. And I look at him and he looks over at me and it completely went off. It stopped. He looks over at me and he's like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Dude, you heard that, right?" And he's like, "It's not my radio." He had an old pickup truck. The wires are all over the place and it's an old beat up pickup truck. Radio does not work. And we just kind of ignored it after that. Never talked about it. He didn't want to believe it, but we both heard what we heard. It was an old lady in the floorboard talking to some, I don't know what she was saying. So old
Whoa.
lady.
Whoa.
When, if you're out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Damn.
But that's my experience.
Well, let's go back to childhood. So you grew up in a haunted house in Maryland.
Yep. And it was built on a cemetery. That was like pretty much. And as a kid, I remember, okay, so this is the weird portion. My mom, her side of the family, my grandmother, they've been introduced to like voodoo or magic. And I knew this trick as a kid of how to listen to hell, with the sewing needle and a cup and, to listen to the screams of hell. I don't know if I never heard anything, but you hear, I think it's just the echo inside the cup. But we would leave a devil pie for the devil or whatever. We would make it out of mud and stuff like that. Me and my next door neighbor, Kia and Tasha, 2 girls, and we were doing stuff like that as kids, like weird stuff like that. My sister, another scary story for you. We hear a knock on the door, or she did, and she goes to the back door, and there's 2 women standing there in all white. There's no white people where we live at. There's 2 blonde hair ladies standing at the door. They took her out to the playground, and when she came back, she learned how to make where you take a gallon of milk, cut it out to make a bird feeder. And she came back with that, and the ladies taught her how to make it, but there were no ladies. So, yeah, that was another incident.
Wow.
I don't know, but she knows that one vividly.
Very strange.
That. Yeah.
Very strange. How many siblings did you have?
At that time, living with us, we had 3. So me, my younger sister, and my older sister. And I have another sister I just found out about like a year ago. And my brother, I thought was my friend when I first met him. In Florida, I thought that this kid was cool, but turned out he was my brother too. So I have, that I know of, 5.
Holy shit.
Yeah. My dad was getting around, man. He was getting around.
Right on. So you grew up around voodoo? Hey folks, our friends at Tractor Supply have always stood for community, for neighbors helping neighbors, and for the people who keep life out here moving forward. And at the heart of every community are the heroes who serve, the veterans, active duty military, first responders, and the families who stand beside them. These are the folks who answer the call, who protect, who sacrifice. And Tractor Supply believes that deserves more than just a thank you. That's why they created the Hometown Heroes program. It's their way of giving back in meaningful, everyday ways. As a hometown hero, you'll enjoy special perks through Neighbors Club, like earning rewards on every purchase, free trailer rentals and delivery, and exclusive savings on holidays that honor your service. And the best part? Once you sign up and verify through ID.me, it's automatic. No hoops, no hassles. So if you or someone you love is a hometown hero, visit tractorsupply.com/hometownheroes to learn more. It's Tractor Supply's way of standing behind those who always stand for us.
I knew about it. Like different spells and stuff like that, if you want to call it that. Like how to make a woman fall in love with you, how a woman, if she makes a guy fall in love with her, how to listen to hell and stuff like that. But
How would these subjects get broached in your household?
my grandmother, at the time when she grew up around it more, my mom had a spell put on her supposedly, and it made her stomach swell up with they don't know what. But she used to steal oranges and stuff off of people's trees in Georgia. And one of the neighbors where she lived at on this dirt road and told her to stop doing it or she was going to put a spell on her. And she hung up something in the tree. My mom ate it and she got like inflated or something. So that's where we got, I guess, introduced to it. And my cousins, the older ones, they would teach us stuff too. Like, don't eat spaghetti from a chick you just met or if she offers it to you.
Why?
Because you want to know, I guess?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, it's nasty. But her menstrual cycle blood, making the sauce for the pasta, they would use that and give it to the guy to make a guy fall in love. Yeah. Or that attachment. And for a guy to do it, he would use his underarm sweat and cook it in that noodle water, put his underarm sweat in it to make a female do the same thing.
Are you serious? Is this stuff real? I mean, what do you think?
I've never been.
You didn't pull that on your wife, did you?
No. And if I did, I wouldn't tell her. No. That was destined to be, I think.
How prevalent was that in your household? I mean, was that?
My parents did. They had like a Ouija board and stuff, and back before they had, I guess, their religious awakening, we had a Ouija board and stuff like that. But I was never exposed greatly to it. It was more so like my dad would show us how to lift people when they sit in a chair and you stack your hands up on top of them until you all feel the heat rise up, and then you lift the person out of the chair and they float, stuff like that. But that's like,
What? He taught you how to do that?
yeah.
What? Let's go into that. I've never heard anything like
Really?
this. I've never.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know anything about this stuff.
So you sit in a chair, right? Like a stool or a little chair. And you have one person on each. So you have one person on this knee, this elbow, and one at the back of the base of the neck.
Touching or sitting or?
Not touching yet. Then they're all standing around you. The person in the chair is sitting, everybody else is standing around you. Then they take their hands and they stack their right hand first, and then they stack their left hand on top of that. So it's a big pattern. Each one is stacking over and over until all the hands are complete. Then when the top person, the top hand says they feel the heat, and everybody's going to be calling out, I feel the heat. When they feel the whatever is rising up through their hand, when it gets to the top person, they all go like this and they touch this side, this elbow, and the person at the back of the neck does that, and you lift the person up and they float.
You seen this happen?
Yeah. I've done it to my sister, me and my cousins.
Are you serious?
Swear to God. Yeah.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Like they're legitimately floating.
Legitimately, well, you're touching them and they're in the air.
It's like some levitation stuff.
Like that. But they're not, you don't let go. You keep your fingertips on them. And I think that's where the energy goes back into them and they lower back down. Yeah.
Whoa.
You should look it up. Yeah.
I will look it up.
Definitely.
Wow.
We'll do it one time. We need some more people. But it's legit.
Holy shit.
Yeah. My dad used to do, he did it in the Army during what do you call those things where, like a talent contest or something like that, where they were just like some people would go up and like sing or a talent.
Yeah, talent show.
Talent show. And that's what my dad did with some of his coworkers. And they had the biggest guy sit in a chair and he had females do it, all women, and they lifted up the biggest guy in their unit out of the chair. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. I totally
Really?
wasn't expected to go down this road.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man.
So what is it? Is it a religion?
Well, not really necessarily. Like voodoo comes from Africa, and it was like, according to who you talk to or what the belief is, that was our original religion, but it was not religion. It was just a spirituality of the manipulation of the spirit world. And that's what they practiced before religion was introduced, and they were killed and stuff like that for practicing what they perceived to be is black magic from black people's magic. So they said no more and introduced a different form of spirituality, which I'm not against. I think that I think all religion is a form of magic. Even prayer is a form of magic, you know? It's just the belief that you're putting something into the spirit realm, asking a deity or an entity to whatever you want. Asking you shall receive. As above, so below, as within, so without, all these things. So they all coincide with each other. I think all roads lead to Rome. It's just how we interpret and practice different beliefs.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.